Welcome to the Dialed In Podcast. I'm your host, the official CRG, and today we're going to cover on how to start your own business and find growth early on. So, the first thing I want to say is starting your own business isn't easy. It is a very long process. There are multiple steps, and you need to learn along the way. But, on this episode, I'm here kind of just to walk you through what I did, some things that I learned, and hopefully give you guys some insights that you can incorporate into your company or pass along the line to somebody who wants to start a company themselves. So obviously, it's pretty point blank, but the very first thing you want to do is start by finding your product, right? You want to start by designing your product and finding your audience. So, there's multiple ways to design your product. It all just depends on what you want to do. If you want to design shoes, make your own type of merchandise, anything with hoodies, hats, if you want to be a glass blower, or, make your own rolling trays. And for people that don't know, a glass blower is somebody who makes bongs and pipes and certain things like that. So, you just really have to figure out what you want to do, the product that you want to build and market. And you need to start by there, right? You need to always build a prototype, make sure you have kind of everything in mind and put it out into a product. So, every little tweak that you write down, anything that you think might be a good idea, you want to start by with a simple product and add on to it, manufacture it and test it, try different things, try different leathers, try different equipment, try different software, whatever you're doing, just tweak it as much as you can until you find it almost perfect and something that your target audience would really be satisfied with. A second really big thing is before you even start to put your product out there, you need to learn how to market. Marketing is going to be your best friend when you own your own company. When you market, you need to learn how to run a social media platform. There's multiple ways you can do that. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, thousands and thousands of companies, posts their marketing every single day. They use tags, hashtags, they use certain influencers, they use certain backgrounds, anything that's kind of trendy. And that's what you kind of need to catch on to, right? The big market companies are the ones that really did make it. So you don't necessarily copy them, but you almost follow in their footsteps, right? So wherever they go, you kind of want to market. You won't get that recognition because you're a small business at first, but at least you'll be on that same page. Somebody will scroll down a little bit and they'll see that same hashtag and your company or, whatever you're doing might pop up. You just really need to learn how to market. You need to watch your stocks. It all depends on, like I said, it all depends on what you're doing. So like a stock market, you need to watch how the stocks go up and down. You need to really read into the company. You need to read on their shares and their buys and what they do. With a fashion company, you need to check trends. You need to find your age group. If you're going for younger teens, you need to see what their new trend is. If baggy jeans are in, do baggy jeans with a certain design. Or if you're going for an older group, if there's a certain shoes, do that type of shoe, but with a certain design. It's just all about following trends and following what your product is going to be based on. You just need to find a target audience and base your product all around them. So once your product's designed and you've kind of taught yourself a little bit about marketing and you've checked its stocks and you found your target range, that's when you need to start looking for a quality manufacturer. You need to find a partner. You need to find somebody who can make those goods because, you can start as a small in-home business for a little bit, but when you start getting orders, it's going to be hard to constantly make handmade things if you're doing something like that or editing something online or, anything. It's going to be hard to do it on your own. So you need to partner with somebody and start to work with them and start to kind of push out kind of a deal and just get things rolling because that way your business will grow and you also have another person to help promote your company. So, you have everything built, you have the market down to a T, you have your quality manufacturer and your quality product, right? You figured out, you've got it in front of you, you like how it looks, you like how it feels, you like how it runs, whatever it is. Now it's time to take your product to the market. And now this is where it gets tricky, right? The market is a very different thing. It's almost a whole different world, because a lot of things get suppressed in the market because that's all based on the popular eye. So that's why I said you need to use hashtags. You need to follow big sites, because wherever big sites will go, your stuff will pop up. Is if you just use random tags, or if you use a super long title, right? For social media, like you just use some super long title, nobody's going to click on it. Nobody's going to find your tag. You're not going to get any views. But if you use a short grasp title that can get somebody's attention, and all the tags the main company uses, that will, I'm not saying 100% will get likes or views, but you will have more of an opportunity for it to get clicked on. So once your product's ready, you 100% need to build a platform. Like I said before, social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, a website. A website is a great way. A website can tell you a little bit about your product. You can sell your products on your website. It can be somewhere for your audience to even connect with you. So I highly recommend, if you're a company, to make sure you have your own website and make sure you fill your audience in with everything that's needed, because without your audience, you have no buyer. All right, so now you got your product, it's ready to go. You've got your social media up, you've got your website ready. Now you just really need to narrow it down to that target audience, right? You need to see, just scroll through what the trends are, where your shoes or your clothes fit in that category, or where your business with the stocks go in certain Instagram accounts, and who you connect with, who you can post and teach people or share your stock information, or where you can promote your podcast or your own online business. You need to just narrow it down to an audience, and you need to just promote the hell out of it in that audience. No matter what it is, you can do it by word. You can, try to print some stickers. If you're a new studio, get stickers and start putting them everywhere. Put flyers. If you're an upcoming artist, send your videos or your music out to a bunch of people. Maybe pay, $20 to a nice platform with 10,000 followers, and they'll put you out there for a story post. Just something that you can do to get recognition is the easiest way to grow, because just having your brand sit there without promoting it isn't going to get the growth you want. It might get some growth, but it will take way longer than you building a site, you putting in effort, and you promoting it yourself, and basically annoying the fuck out of your audience with your product. Another thing I'll say is, when you do have your product and you're pushing it out, you need to start small. Don't go buy super large quantities. Let's say you're making a product. Don't start with 500. If you're making shoes, start with maybe 100. I'd do a price range from maybe $500 max to 100 for your first product, your first drop. That's maybe 1 to 100 pairs of shoes, jackets, debating on your clothing, your material, rolling trays, mugs, stickers. So, you don't want to overdo it with the stock. You can always make more stock. It's actually better to sell out than have stock sit there. So, yes, you might lose maybe 50 customers when you sell out, but you did sell out. And right when you resupply everything, you will have loads of more people waiting. So, I highly recommend just starting small and seeing where it goes. You don't want to overdo your stock. You don't want to overput too much money to where you start losing more than you're making. So we've covered, how to design your product, how to learn a market, what to look for, look for stocks, your target age range, find a quality manufacturer, how to build your product, what to do, how to tweak it. We've also talked about, once your product's ready, how to market it. The internet, like I said, is a great way to do it. Building a website, finding your target audience and promoting it there. So by words, sticker, post, reels, anything that you can do, hashtags, anything that can target your audience and get them to see your product that you're trying to promote. And also just starting small with the product itself, not doing very large quantities and having a realistic price margin. So with all that being said, Now it's really the last and final step. Your product is, let's say, you've got 50% of sales. No matter what it is, your shoes are selling, not as much as you'd like to, but they're selling. You're getting the recognition. The hardest thing you can do as a company is just to stay consistent. And that's really the hardest thing we can do as a human itself. Consistency is the easiest way to growth, but it's also the hardest way for a human. So being consistent is literally the only way your business will boom and grow. You know, you'll have good days, bad days. You might not get that amount of views on a certain product, on a certain post, on whatever you do, but that doesn't mean for you to get discouraged. You know, some things are going to get more views, some things are going to get more insight than others, but overall, at least it's still getting the attention, right? So just staying consistent no matter what. You know, listening to your audience on what they want. If they want tweaks, updates on your product, more information, you know, more videos being dropped, you know, certain topics being talked about. You need to listen and you need to grow with your audience. Because if you ignore your audience, you basically ruin your product because your audience is your buyer. So your business should be surrounded by your audience no matter what, because they are your main income. So for you to connect and build a community is the best way for a business to stay on top of everything, to make posts all the time, to stay on top of the audience. Make sure you update things, make sure you listen to comments, respond to people. Just make sure you're part of the community and make sure that they feel like they're part of the product and the business itself. It will definitely help your business grow quicker than most businesses who just sit there and let the people come to them. So with all that being said, this episode was specifically just how to really build your business quickly. You know, it's not like I could dive into it step by step. You know, I can't walk you guys through everything, but I can kind of just give you the overlay of what to do. You know, just constantly learn to market, constantly learn and just evolve your understanding of what to do around, you know, the product, the quality, see what's best for your product. You know, find maybe different audiences, target different audiences. So let's say you have one product that's booming for teens, let's say. Now try to get an older group. That way now you have two form of audiences, which is even more attention. You know, just constantly learn and grow no matter what you do. And that's the easiest way you'll see growth, and just stay consistent no matter what. I mean, you're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have some videos get more views and more attention than others. But at the end of the day, you're still growing, you're still learning, and your business will just grow and flourish as much as you would like it to. You know, just stay consistent no matter what. So, you know, with all that being said, you know, we covered a handful of things. You know, I can't really walk you guys through everything. Um, you know, I can only just give you insight on what I, you know, learned and kind of what I've taught myself. You know, just constantly learn marketing, constantly find your target audience and update your product no matter what. Um, you know, listen to your audience, make sure you're a community, like I said. You know, just make sure you're one, and you're just constantly on top of everything. You know, just staying consistent is the easiest way for your business to flourish. You know, you're going to have good days, bad days. Some videos are going to get more views than others, but overall your business is still booming. You know, you're still getting growth and you're still succeeding. You know, maybe not as quick as you want, but you know, you're still on the right path. You know, you will succeed in your goal in the long run. So, you know, with all that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with another quote today. You know, we'll have another episode out. This is our first week. We're going to have 2 episodes coming up. We got both dropping Friday. I'm actually going on vacation, so I'll be gone for 2 weeks. That's why we're doing 2 episodes. You know, I just want to make sure I enjoy myself, make sure I get out there and have a good time, see some friends and family. I'm gonna leave y'all with the quote today. You can follow 365 Mentality on Instagram. You know, they have great quotes. You know, we use them all the time. But this quote is pretty short. It says, "All the hustle, early mornings, late nights, and missed parties will pay off one day." And I thought that was a great quote, especially for, you know, starting your own business. You know, just hustle no matter what. You know, everything will pay off. Yeah, you know, it sucks right now. But as long as you keep staying consistent, as long as you stay on the grind, you will succeed. So, you know, just always stay motivated constantly, no matter what. Just don't give up. You know, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody for listening. I love y'all. You know, with that being said, you guys are listening to the Dialed In Podcast.